What's up, America? Breathe for a second and just feel this one. Because I'm not talking to the surface version of you. I'm talking to the part of you that remembers. Yeah, that part. See, something ancient has been moving across the world quietly, like a tide the public can't see. But the ones with the old blood, the old memory, the old responsibility, they've been feeling it the entire time. We're watching the rise of the heirs, not the loud ones, not the televised ones, not the puppets on the stage, no. I'm talking about the ones who incarnated with a signature that can't be faked, a frequency that can't be copied, a knowing that can't be taught. The world calls them regular people, but their souls, they've been carrying contracts older than every government on this earth. And lately, have you felt that pull, that pressure? Like life itself is pushing you into position, like your name, your lineage, your path is trying to activate? That's not imagination, that's inheritance waking up. See, the world was never meant to be run by corporations or empty offices or paper crowns. It was built to be stewarded, held by men and women who could feel the weight of responsibility and not flinch. The heirs apparent don't rise by volume, they rise by resonance. They're calm in chaos, clear in confusion, silent when everyone else is screaming, and deeply connected to something they don't always know how to explain. But here's the cryptic truth. The people you see on the screens, they're not the ones making the real moves. The real shifts happen when the rightful stewards sign their names again. Spiritually, legally, and energetically. And when they do that, reality adjusts. Most folks won't understand that. They're watching the play, but the heirs are behind the curtains writing the script. And it's wild because all of this unfolds. Everything on the surface looks chaotic, like things are falling apart. But what's actually happening is it's falling back into order. Old systems collapsing, new foundations rising, truth returning, stewardship replacing exploitation, lineage reclaiming territory that was borrowed by the wrong hands. And listen, if you're hearing this calmly, if it settles into your chest instead of trigger fear, you're aligned with it. Because this message doesn't activate fear, it activates memory. And if something in you whispers, this feels familiar, or I feel like he's talking directly to me, then you already know where you stand in this era. You don't need confirmation, you don't need a title, and you don't need permission. Your soul already accepted the assignment before you were born. The rise of the heirs isn't loud, it's subtle, purposeful, strategic, spiritual, and completely unstoppable. And soon, the world will shift. Not because someone on a screen told it to, but because the rightful steward stepped back into place. If this resonates, if it feels like truth you forgot, that's not coincidence, that's recognition. So welcome back. Who's been waiting? I love y'all. 903 out.
Merry Christmas can go either way, and I hate to offend people. So this whole last holiday season, I didn't let out one Merry Christmas. That's true. Instead, I said, may the birth of the one and only true God Jesus Christ bestow a blessing of grace and peace upon your household to the belittlement of every other false religion. Lest you be gay. That's what I say.
Whenever someone insists that you must believe something, it's usually a sign that it isn't quite true. For truth, in its purest form, requires no belief at all. When you look at a tree, you don't believe it's a tree. You simply see it. When you look at the sky, you don't persuade yourself it's the sky. It presents itself effortlessly. Truth is like that, self-evident, unbothered, unprotected. It doesn't ask for defenders, nor does it demand your loyalty. It simply is.
Remember when you were young Your body isn't overwhelmed. It's been hijacked. When stress hits, your nervous system runs an ancient program. Threat, panic, freeze. But there's no predator, just your life on loop. You can reset the entire program in 60 seconds. Inhale, 4, hold, 7, exhale, 8. This isn't breathing, it's a system override. Your vagus nerve gets one message: stand down. You're safe. Cortisol drops. Blood pressure normalizes. Your prefrontal cortex comes back online. This is how you move from survival physiology to conscious presence. You don't rise above your nervous system. You learn to command it. Save this for your next reset. Follow for daily programs.
No matter what they say, I hate you and everything you stand for. Seems like you got a reason for saying that. Is this on? They'll talk with you about it. I want to do business with you, and I want to do with you right now. Seems like you got a reason for saying it. Well, yeah, here's why I want to do business with you. The more you encourage the other side to talk, the more likely it is that you're going to get to this moment of collaboration quicker. How do you get something better? You get the other side to talk. You spend a lot less time talking and appreciate that they're bringing something to the table that you can use. The black swan, the tiny little thing's going to change everything. You trigger that, you're going to make great deals.
There is a kind of parasite in your mind right now. It's stopping you from seeing reality. And I want to tell you that I'm not using that word poetically. I mean the biological definition of a parasite. And a parasite has 4 basic traits. It needs a host. It consumes the resources of the host. It alters the host's behavior to promote its own survival. And 4, it replicates through the host into a new host. Language meets every criteria of a parasite, and I'm going to prove it to you. I want to literally show you this thing inside of your head right now. I'm going to put something very simple on your screen, but I don't want you to think about it. I just want you to notice what your mind does the moment that it appears on the screen. Are you ready? Here it is. I guarantee you something happened inside your head before you realized it. We're going to go to experiment number 2 now. I just want you to watch what your mind does. Here it is. And instantly, without your permission, your mind starts whispering in your head. Mona Lisa, Da Vinci, famous painting, triangle, before your eyes were done looking. You didn't experience the thing first. Your brain named it first. Most people don't realize it, but this happens to our entire lives. We label emotions before we feel them. We label people before we get to know them. We label ourselves before maybe we get a chance to decide if something is true or not. Language is jumping in front of every experience and it's hijacking it. Let me show you just how deep this really goes. Your language doesn't just name things. Your language creates the categories of things that you see. As an example, different cultures divide the world in completely different ways. And because of that, they literally perceive different realities. If your language has no word for a certain color, your brain becomes way slower or even completely unable to see that color. The category shapes the perception. So your language isn't really describing your world, it's deciding what your world contains. We do not think with logic. We think with metaphors that we did not choose ourselves. Just think of like the metaphors that we live by. There's thousands that are programmed into our psyche. Time is money. Love is a journey. The mind is a container. None of these things are facts. They're metaphors that became little prisons for us. Every belief that you've ever held, every certainty, every fear, every limitation that you think is just who you are was shaped inside of a language that you didn't choose. You didn't pick the categories, the metaphors to understand yourself. You didn't pick the metaphors.
Everyone,
you
it's
used
Brooke
to.
Rollins. This week, we are seeing real action to restore fairness, accountability, and common sense to our food assistance programs. President Trump's vision to restore common sense reforms to SNAP, or food stamps, is moving to its implementation phase. The One Big Beautiful Bill enacted revised work requirements for able-bodied adults between 18 and 64 who receive SNAP, meaning they will be required to work, to volunteer, to train, or even to study at least 80 hours a month to qualify for benefits as a floor. That's 20 hours a week and 4 hours every work day. This is about restoring dignity and responsibility. We're ending a system where some were taking advantage while honest, hardworking Americans foot the bill. As I have pointed out, the data shows clear misuse, deceased individuals still receiving checks, people collecting benefits in multiple states, and so much more. This is unacceptable. And while we're talking about that, to the 21 states who have yet to send us their data, what is it that you are hiding? Let's partner together to defend the taxpayer and make sure that those who are most vulnerable among us are receiving the benefits. There is dignity in work. There is dignity in service to your community. There is dignity in career and technical education. Also, all USDA programs, including SNAP, are continuing to be under significant review to kick off any illegal immigrants receiving federal benefits. That means no more freebies for lawbreakers. Benefits will be preserved for citizens who follow the rules. We believe in helping Americans who play by the rules. We believe that if you are able-bodied, you should work or contribute to receive taxpayer-funded help. But we also believe that there are vulnerable Americans who need this supplemental nutrition assistance benefit for a short term to help them get back on their feet. That's only fair, and that is right. It's time we restore accountability, protect hardworking taxpayers, and make sure aid goes to American citizens, not to those who are illegally gaming the system. If you're tired of a welfare system that's been exploited for too long, this reform is one of many that will promote work, reduce dependence, and make certain SNAP support those truly in need: children, the disabled, and the elderly. Thank you.